Hello art teachers, my name is Danielle Anderson, also known as Dani Sue. If you have not had a chance to watch my other videos above, please make sure you do. There's a Meet the Artist that tells you all about me, and then 3 instructional videos, part 1, 2, and 3 for the snack basket. That basket kit is for order. I am ready to mail them now. And there's also little ways that you can win things hidden in each of those videos. So you want to make sure and take a look so that you get your name in to win some free things. So since I know your time is valuable, I'm going to skip right to the topic. In this video, we're talking about the art and history of basketry. Now, I know as any good teacher, you're going to want to know, how long am I listening to you? Please, Dani, tell me. So here's what we're going to cover, all right? In this video, we're going to cover 1, underwater basket weaving and how we need to put that myth to bed. 2, the different styles of baskets and materials used. 3, historical and cultural connections. 4, your teaks, requirements, and some encouragement for you. So let's get this out of the way. When I tell people that I teach basket classes or that I love making baskets, most of the time people say underwater basket weaving, and I'm like, what is up with that? Okay, because I know the art and the creativity that weaving a basket takes, and I know the skill that weaving a basket takes. So I was so interested that I actually researched it. In the 1950s, they started putting the term of, oh, they're going to school for underwater basket weaving, to kind of label like the athletic ones that were just going to higher education for a degree so that they could play the sport that they loved, right? So this kind of term came of, oh, they're majoring in underwater basket weaving. Well, the truth is, friends, that underwater basket weaving is hard work. It takes skill. So I don't know the exact person in history that came up with that term, but the truth is there are different fibers and different things that you can work with, like willow is one that we would be familiar with, that you have to soak for days to be able to use it. So there are some incredible artists that actually weave their baskets sitting in a creek, weaving with their reed, which might be willow or some other kind of heavy duty vine. So it takes strength and it takes skill. So the whole term of underwater basket weaving is silliness. I just want to put that to bed real quick so we can get that out of the way and do some real talking. So the possibilities with basket weaving are endless, absolutely endless. And one of the very cool things that I love about weaving is that I, as the weaver, the designer, the one who thought the creation up, I can make the basket in the same day and the basket look different, be a bit different, the size be a little different. It is so neat, like literally no 2 baskets are the same. And that is super, super cool and interesting to me. Now let's take a look. There are so many options and so many types of baskets. I mean, more than I could cover in our time together. But I just wanted to show you a few. There are ribbed baskets, which you'll see in the top left corner. They are that's an egg basket, but there are lots of different types and styles of ribbed baskets. There are flat ones that hang on walls that some people will call a key basket, but the ribs are intricate and it has the God's eye around the handle. Most egg baskets do, but it is a labor-intensive project. Last year, I got to go to a basket weaving conference, and I started a ribbed basket at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't finish until midnight that night. Now, floating baskets. I was so confused. My grandmother would always talk about baby Moses in the Bible floating down the river. I'm going, what? How? I mean, a basket would sink. So like you can see in this picture, they are actually sitting in the basket. It is floating down the river. They are using it as their mode of transportation. It turns out that they would weave a basket and then use tar and things that go around them to help the basket float and to make sure that water cannot get into the basket. There are yarn coiled baskets and raffia baskets and Nantucket baskets. Now, just as there are so many different kinds of baskets, I couldn't possibly list them all. There are also so many different materials that I could not possibly list them all. But things like willow with raffia and all the colors that it can come in, yarn and all the different varieties of texture, of color, of size. Cane, same thing, the different varieties and styles and dyed cane. It's absolutely incredible. The cane is measured in millimeters, so there's also different sizes to each of these things. Kudzu and grapevine. The list, my friends, goes on and on and on. So really, like for real, the possibilities with this craft are endless. One of the things that my daughter, my 8-year-old, loves is weaving with washi tape. And you simply adhere washi tape to flat reed and weave it into a basket, and it makes your basket come alive in a whole different way with a pattern and color. It's awesome. So anything, when you walk through the craft aisles, just look around and think, how could I put that into a basket? Because there is probably an answer to that very question. So now let's take a look at the historical and cultural connections of basketry. I would encourage you, even with your students, to look into Pet Lamp, P-E-T Lamp. Pet Lamp is a project that mixes the reuse of PET plastic bottles with selected traditional weaving techniques. Weaving, all right? This website, you go to it, you're going to see incredible pieces of art where they're taking plastic bottles, cutting them to make them weavers, and making them light shades. Or lamp shades. They're incredible. The pictures on the website of them hanging from restaurant ceilings, I mean, they're absolutely phenomenal. And they are helping cultures who are less fortunate become profitable. And this is what I found on there. Basketry is one of the most ancient crafts, older than pottery or the carving of stone, and probably the origin of all the textile arts of the world. How cool is that? It goes on to say, the process of interweaving twigs, seeds, or leaves for baskets and mats, making it one of the most universal craft works, ranking among the most ancient industries. Weaving is capable of making the hand obey the mind. Let's hear that again. Weaving is capable of making the hand obey the mind. Oh my goodness, for all of us. Art, right? Making these two sync up and connect. The art, the tapestry work of weaving. Hear me out, teachers. Authorities on the subject declare that there has never been a tribe in any part of the world that has not employed some mode of making baskets. Any modern day weaver can look back on those before us and thank them. It is something that has actually been brought in and brought through generations since the very beginning of known time, right? Absolutely incredible. And did you know, if you're not excited yet about basket weaving, did you know that there's not a machine that can make a basket? Like, you probably, when you walk through the aisles of a store, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, anywhere, you walk through the aisle and there's a pretty basket for $15. That's so cheap. Awesome. That was handmade. So I just love that there isn't a machine that makes a basket. And I remember being a little girl thinking, I bet by the time I'm an adult, they're gonna have a machine that makes a basket. They still don't. They still don't. So how cool is it that we as people are linked to all of our ancestors that are linked to basket weaving? Baskets have survived time and don't have a machine to fill up its space. And the relationships that we can find in baskets is one of the best things. One of my dear friends, Dr. Christina Bain at UT, recently during COVID has found that the history in her family to upstate New York has many basket weavers. She actually has documentation of family members of hers that their primary income source was basket weaving. They were basket makers. So neat the way that generations and families and the stories that weave together, pun intended, right? So each of my creations, I can look at a basket and know where that idea came from, what the story is behind the basket, why those colors are used, or why it's that rim, or what that handle is about, the art that is put into each piece, right? So let's take a look at this. Researchers from a university in Finland write, "We propose that the handling of material can help to regulate our mental states by providing a means to reach flow states. Furthermore, it seems that arts and crafts play an important role in controlling stress and enhancing relaxation. They enable us to fail safely and handle our associated emotions." You're providing a safe, healthy place for these kiddos to fail. They can see each other's work. They can see the skill and the craft and the thought that goes into a project, to picking the colors, the shape, the size, all of that, and the personalities. You're creating an environment, a safe environment for these kids to learn and to enjoy it, and to know that it's okay to mess up because they can redo this. They can do this again. That's one of the best things with basket weaving. I promise you, you come to my studio, you're going to have a good time. We're going to leave the stress outside. And it's just like the researchers from the university in Finland. It's connected. We have the emotional and mental state of things changes when we put our hands and our minds to use on a piece of art. So let's bring it back home. You can make sure that you're fulfilling your TEKS requirements by bringing weaving into your classroom. At the elementary level, you could focus on pattern, and at the secondary level, fibers. And the great news about that is that Reed is a fiber. I get all excited thinking about the art that you and your students are going to make, the memories that you and your students will make if you enter into weaving together. There's so many different things that you can bring into a piece of art that we'll talk about in the next video that I hope you stick around for. But you can do painting and then bring in yarn and then bring so many possibilities, and I'll save that for the next video. But I just get very, very pumped for you guys about what it is you'll bring. Most of the students that come to Dani Sue Creations to make a basket, they'll say, you know, I made a basket when I was in grade school. I remember making a basket in high school, but I never really did it after that. But I remember loving it. It was so fun. And they can always point, if they made a basket in grade school or in high school, they'll be able to say, it was so much fun. That was teacher so-and-so. I knew I wanted to weave again because blah, blah, blah. Like, you are getting to connect them, because research shows us over and over and time again that putting our mind to work and helping this mental space, you know, the hot word right now is to be mindful. You're going to see in the next video some ideas of how to bring all of that to life and different things that you can do, but I can only cover so much in a video. I want to make sure that you know I have created a page on Pinterest for you. If you go to my name at DSA30, there's a board called Weaving in the Classroom. And I am putting things there all the time. One, to do with my girls, and two, to make sure that artists like yourself who are teaching art have the resources and just the ideas. I know that you are busy and you're covering lots of material, and I just wanted to put something, a resource at your fingertips so that you didn't have to do the looking. I've done the looking for you. And if you will email me at danisuecreations@gmail.com, I will email you a PDF document of all the basket lingo, like a cheat sheet. So go to the next video because I'll also be showing you some ideas there. All right, thanks guys. I'm so pumped about you weaving in your classroom.